Tunaongelea story ya Wadaglis. We saw them performing Anguka Nayo. Wanaitwa Wadaglis.
Oh, that's Waangalia nikishangaa.
Oh no. Wanaitwa Wadaglis. The guys who performed Anguka Nayo.
Okay.
So Anguka Nayo is a song that was released ideally during the Maandamano time. Sure. And it was not doing very well. It was not even performing well.
It wasn't.
But there's a meme that propelled this song. So what happened is that someone created a meme yenye ilikuwa inasema nimeangusha Ruto, sasa anasema nimeangusha finance bill, mnataka nitoe nini ingine? Sawa. And then Kenyans response, Anguka Nayo.
You go both of you.
And then kwa background wameweka hiyo Anguka Nayo. Anguka. So it was kind of hilarious. Na ili trend sana because it looked like it was speaking probably to power. To power. Ama to what Kenyans wanted that time. Hii ni On Air with the presenter Ali, na kama kawaida niko na jamaa wangu nguvu
Just for Bravo aka Just Beast.
Just Beast. And of course kila wakati tutakuwa tunazungumzia tu stories tofauti ambazo zina trend, na our first story ni a very hilarious moment in the industry, I would say in Kenya, that actually happened jana. Of course jana kulikuwa kunafaa kuwa na meetup ya Kenyan youth pale Uhuru Park.
Yes.
Kwa sababu ya
shujaz,
ya kukumbuka mashujaa, the fallen shujaz,
the Gen Z shujaz
pengine walifariki, waliumia wakati wa maandamano. And of course tulipofika pale watu walitawanywa, kila mtu, wengine walikamatwa, wengine walitushwa tear gas. Ilikuwa tu chaos jana. So now ambaye alikuwa ameambia watu wapatane jana alikuwa ni Omondi. So kitu saa jioni tu hivi tukasikia kwamba Omondi has been arrested. So kukakuwa na wasiwasi, we don't know nini inaendelea, lakini after an hour hivi akajitokeza kama amevaa buibui na amejitanda kabisa.
Haonekani, ni macho tu.
Akasema he got intel from people, from a Gen Z cop, kwamba alikuwa kamatwe akavaa buibui ndo wasimshike, lakini wakamkimbiza
mbaya sana na buibui wake,
wakamshika.
Sasa ndio ilikuwa comedy ama ilikuwa
Okay, what is your take on this first of all?
I think Omondi, people can look at it and maybe think that maybe Omondi was being dramatic about it and just trying to chase clout. But I think,
do you think it really happened?
Sorry?
Do you think it really happened? Omondi alivaa buibui?
Yeah, I believe it happened.
Mimi nafikiria tu ni kipindi after ameachiliwa sasa. Akavaa buibui ndo atuchekeshe kidogo. I don't know.
Because mbona anasema hivyo? Because hakuna place penye mtu, okay, according to vile anasema that alivaa buibui ili aweze kuingia kwa event.
Yes.
Na alimeza at least could last for sometimes before the police could come and disrupt the event. Na alipatikana by the alikuwa part of it, because I remember hiyo video inamuonyesha akiwa hiyo time watu walikuwa nakimbizwa. Kuna video fulani alikuwa amevaa buibui na anakimbia.
Walai? Anafa anajirecord?
Anajirecord hivi.
Serious?
Yes.
Sikuiona hiyo.
No, there's a certain video hivyo. Before akuje I saw that one before I saw this one. Sasa anashoot akiwa ndani ya gari.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's true alikuwa anafanya, and it's a strategy in a way iliwork. Because hangeingia normally maandamano zake zilastiki 1 minute.
Yes.
Anaingia hivi.
Wanajua this guy is powerful.
Sasa hawezi kumpatia time ya ku build up that momentum.
Yes.
So at least he was able to do that because I imagine a scenario yenye angeingia pale alafu ashikwe. Hata event ingekosa kuendelea because people's morale ingekuwa imeshuka, because guys were so psyched by the way. But the fact that at least aliingia pale then In fact alishikwa kama event ishaenda, ilikuwa past saa 6 huko kama watu hata walikuwa shatawanyishwa. So I think it was a big strategy. Number one, in that it made at least the event take place, and it's something at least we are talking about it. The fact that we are talking about it right now,
although it wasn't as big as
it wasn't that big, but there's a statement.
There was a turnout.
Yeah, there was a turnout, and of course, sometimes people think that these mandamano or these demonstrations have to be so huge for them to have an impact. But as long as they're making message, in that they're making news, people are talking about it, that's enough. The fact that there will be some international media that will be asking, oh, there were 2 events in Kenya. There was one in Kwale County, and there was another one in Uhuru Park. And the one in Uhuru Park will gain more headlines because it will be a catchier headline because it was erupted and it was chaotic. And people love such. And people will be asking questions. Okay, this meeting which was erupted, what was it all about? Then like, oh, these people are celebrating the death of people who were killed during the demonstrations, and that keeps the conversation going. So sometimes we might look at the demonstrations, and then we want to determine their success as far as how much people turned up, how many people turned up, or how much damage of goods was happened. But that is not necessarily a measure. Of course, it's the best demonstration you want to see end up like that. But if people turn up and at least it makes news, that is a success already. Because I'm sure Ruto, where he is at, he was not comfortable with that. That's why he even sent the police.
But let me ask you, I think the agenda of the mandamano, not per se mandamano, of the event, rally, was clear that watu wavae black, watu wakuja na candles, we just remember the fallen soldiers. I think it's wrong for watu kukatazwa kufanya kitu kama hicho, considering the fact that it's ni mashujaa day, considering the fact that pia hakuna watu wamesema wataandamana, and also tunaona pia polisi wanakuja pale wanarushia watu tear gas. It's a big statement from those in power. It's like they're telling you, you're not allowed to mourn these guys. Our sesi mashujaa. I don't know. And
wanafasa uliwe.
And I feel on my side, I just feel uncomfortable that when such a clean mission, anyone who is the president of a country, people do believe that he means well for the country. So people really died wakati wa maandamano.
For sure, there's no doubt about it.
And for a president, everyone would want or would wish to have a president who would say, if you are really doing this for people who died during that time, just do it. But if people are saying wanataka kuandamana, that would be a different message. Maybe
for sure
the government would have a right kusema they don't want such a rally during such an important day of the country. But watu walikuja wakasema tu tunataka kufanya maandamano.
A rally, in fact,
we just want to do a rally. We just want to come with candles. Hakuna any disruption. We just want to remember those people.
Yeah, you're right. In a way, it still shows you how far we are as Kenya, because what you said is true. That in that the president is the person who's supposed to be the one that a unifying factor. Unless maybe the president who isn't viewing these guys as heroes, because maybe he's the one who killed them, so he thinks that they're not heroes. And that is the wrong way of thinking of stuff, because I think he's just becoming a president who cares more about himself. He's a president who is moved more by ego rather than leadership. And I'm saying this because, for sure, it is his administration under which these guys were killed. So I think he's trying as much as possible that people may forget that there are people who were ever killed. So anything that reminds people of that, I think he views that as a wrong move. And then another thing, this guy, Ruto, that is, he has stopped viewing other Kenyans as fellow Kenyans. In fact, he views anything to do with Gen Z as people not fighting for the country, but as people who are fighting him as an individual. So anything that celebrates those people is like going to celebrate the people who are fighting him.
Like a trigger for him.
Yeah, and it's a very stupid way of looking at it, because this is the time that he was supposed to man up and just shuffle everything aside and just decide that, you know what, mistakes have been made. There are some people who died who are not supposed to die. What can we do moving forward? And I think that will even help the families and the people to heal. But still looking like he's fighting these people, because I believe that the families of the individuals who died were there too. So you go there and you tear gas them. You see, these guys, even if they were considering forgiving you because your administration is the one that killed their sons and daughters, they can even rethink about that, because I was thinking about forgiving you, then you're still fighting me when I'm mourning the person that you killed.
You see? I would imagine a way when people said that they were going to do that, maybe Ruto would have said something like, during the ceremony at Kwale, let's have a 1 minute of silence for anyone who died. Because according to what they said is that some people were sent there to cause disruption. But it's also right to say that some people died there unfairly. Na bullets ziliwapata na wako wamekuja kufanya chaos.
Sure.
So maybe pale Kwale tunge expect kusikia tu 1 minute of silence for the fallen soldiers.
Exactly.
If you are a Kenyan, assume the president would have said this. Tell me how smart this would be. If you are a Kenyan and you feel like you need to mourn watu ambao walikufa siku ya Mashujaa Day, we're sorry for the families and you are allowed to do so as long as you do it in peace.
That could have been a perfect move.
Then we also remember there's a time alisema anataka ku include the youth in leadership. And he was open for conversation. I don't know hiyo ilifikia wapi. So I just think sometimes Kenya looks like it's heading in the right direction, but just one thing happens and then you realize we haven't moved.
Yeah, we haven't moved an inch. We are still in the same wrong direction.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go to the next story where we'll be talking about his story, Sonnie na Mulamwah. So, Sonnie na Mulamwah waliachana a while back. They were dating, they got a daughter, anaitwa Kayla Oyando, and wakaachana. So the breakup was a little bit bitter.
Yeah, sure.
Chaotic kidogo. And what exactly happened is that after breakup, you know, there's always a party accusing another of doing this and that and that. Yeah. So Mulamwah aliwahi jitokeza akasema kwamba Sonnie was actually cheating on him with a pastor.
Wow, okay.
So akamwambia aliandika kitu inasema wacheni kuflex kwa mtandao na pesa za wababa or something of that sort. So Sonnie was very angry. She came out and said that, you know what, this person mnasema niko na relationship naye is someone who has mentored me, is someone who has helped me when I was traumatized.
He's like my father.
He's like my father. Him and his wife have been through the journey with me, have helped me through the journey. Na ni watu na respect sana. Fast forward, the other day, tumekuwa tukiona Sonnie akipost jamaa fulani ambaye amefichwa uso, atumuone, tunaona mikono yake, you know, such kind of stuff. And she's actually been calling the guy rib giver. Rib for ribs, eh?
Yeah, sure.
Rib giver. And many Kenyans were actually very, very curious to know who this rib giver is. Because, umeangukia nani?
Tangu Mulamwah. Yeah, because we've never seen anybody serious.
Yeah, umeangukia nani huyu? So, she made one mistake. I'll just call it a mistake because of the repercussions.
Yeah.
Alipost rib giver wake, akamhide uso, akabakisha, unaona hapa kwa kiti tu hivi.
Peke yake.
Akabakisha tu hapo na ukuta.
Alifunika hadi tumbo.
Alifunika kuanzia hapa.
Alifunika sana.
Hata si hapa. Alifunika hivi yote.
Sasa the old torso.
Kenyan DCI.
Ni nani?
Kenyans DCIs. Waliingia kwa mtandao. I don't know if they did Google images into a Google reverse image search. And they found the original image. And guess who the rib giver is?
Pastor mwenyewe.
Pastor Eric Binges.
Pastor Eric is the one who has been giving ribs around. Wow. But that was expected though, right? Yeah, most of the time, these guys usually come they usually give the image of fatherly figure. in churches especially, not even in churches, even in corporate
even
world.
in the village.
Yeah, even in the corporate world. There are always these guys who they usually position themselves like the mentor to, especially to ladies. Yeah, we even see these two guys. We see it's mostly usually the older men trying to act like they're taking care or they're leading or mentoring the younger lady, or it's an older lady kind of mentoring a graduate who just came from the university the other day, just showing him the way through the corporate world. And because of that, many people usually tend to, it's, you know, when you're just coming out of university, or for instance, now in this case of Sonnie, she's just out there. She was just out of the corporate world, trying to find a way, trying to make a living and make a name for herself.
Yes. She was still dating that time.
Yeah, she was dating. So there will always be these people will come around, and I think she met one of them, this pastor. This is just my opinion, and I believe this is what happened by the way. And this guy comes and they want to mentor you, then you trust them because they'll be taking care of, maybe they
feel vulnerable.
Yeah, they tell you anytime you have any problem, just call me. You know, so they act like a fatherly figure. So sometimes you find yourself in a small problem. Maybe you're in town, you get stranded. Maybe you went out with your friends. Then you think of, who can I call? I can't call my mom. My mom is too strict. Then you think of the mentor. You call him. You're like, I was at this place and we were with my friends, and
because you're normally open with them, you can tell them anything.
Yes. Because they usually make you very comfortable. Then they'll send you maybe money or something so that you can get yourself home. Or sometimes they even offer to come and pick you up just for the trust issues.
Yes.
And these guys usually do this to a level that even their wives will know, because it's open before everybody knows that this guy is mentoring
this lady.
And then chini ya maji, the guys usually tend to make a move. Yeah. Then because women tend to get attracted to position of power many times, and they get, because women tend to, this is how female attraction usually happens. Women tend to be sexually attracted to people that they admire or they respect, because they say that if a woman respects you, she can easily sleep with you rather than loving you. If she loves you and she doesn't respect you, she might not even sleep with you. You understand?
Wow.
Yeah. So when this respect already exists, and this is why you usually find it's easier for women to sleep with their bosses, because already there is that pre-existing respect.
Okay.
Yeah. So you find that these women, like a lady in this case, this man just takes care of you when you need money. Then you get to a place now, the help inakuwa too much. And then you feel like these guys now anakuwa, because they've helped you so much, they've bailed you out so many times, you feel like in a way you owe them.
Kama uko na deni lao.
Unafeel kama uko na deni lao, then they'll come up with an offer that tunaweza kuwa
unaweza lipa hii deni.
Hiki unaweza lipa hii deni.
Hiyo mshwari imekaa sana hapa.
Yeah, so they'll give you an offer by the way, that maybe
the devil gives you an offer you will never refuse.
They'll tell you that maybe, imagine a life now you're no longer worrying about your rent, because they know you. You will tell them your problems. They know that one of your biggest problem is your rent.
But let me tell you something. We are in, I think this is a conversation that we will just have one day.
Okay.
But we are in a very weird society right now, that when a woman cheats on you, the society views you as weak.
For sure.
For sure. And the feminists will say, no woman cheats for no reason. Kuna kitu wewe ulifanya.
Kuna tu kitu. Hakuna mwanamke anaweza cheat bure. They say that for sure.
So, here's the question.
Yeah.
If your woman cheats on you,
okay,
you have two chances. Either you leave her, sawa, and the whole world knows you are a weak man because your woman cheated on you, or you stay with her. Kukava aibu yako. She cheats on you. You don't want it getting out there. So you decide, acha tu nikae na yeye.
Watu wasijue.
I'm a weak man.
Wow.
You know. Or wacha niachane na yeye, everyone know alinicheat. And then ukiachana na yeye, it turns out that you thought it was going to be good for you, but people are like, hakuna mwanamke anachiti bure, kuna kitu ulifanya, ama pia wewe labda ulicheat. So you're wondering as a man, what do I do? And it's actually even worse if you had a kid or kids
for sure
with this lady. Because now you are going to be like nitaachana na huyu mwanamke, atakuwa na atatafuta baba mwingine wenye watoto wangu wataweza kuanza kumuita dad.
For sure.
I'll be disrespected out there. Watu watakuwa wanajua tu I was a weak man. This other man might be better, might be good looking, might be having more money. It's a strange world for men.
Yeah, it is for sure. It is a strange, but I know, you know, that which decision I would make if it was me, right?
I know.
It's like, yeah,
I know.
Because if you find yourself in a situation, sometimes trying to look strong is what proves that you are really weak. Because I actually believe that, Nomas, that anytime you say that you're trying to work hard to prove something, it means you're not that thing.
Yes.
So, for instance, my girlfriend just cheats on me, or my wife, for instance, I have a wife with kids, cheats on me. Then I'm trying to stay around with her. Of course, these decisions are easier said than done. But when you find yourself in a situation, it's 10 times more difficult. But let me just say this. When she cheats on me, then I stay with her because of my fear of looking weak outside there, right? And then number 2, I leave her and I look weak. Guess what? The person who leaves her, if I leave her, not caring whether I look weak or not, is strength. Not caring how I will look.
Yes, in front of people.
Yes, that is number 1, strength. Then number 2, my worry of looking weak confirms that I'm weak. Strong people don't need to prove that they're strong. For instance, people fight the most. People get involved in fights the most are usually the weakest. Strong people don't fight because they have no point to prove. Understand? But that is a very good point. By the way, that's a very discussion we need to have. And I was just thinking,
one of these.
And I was just thinking, by the way, I think these guys should tell us if they will be interested in us. Maybe 2 or 3 episodes where we
just talk about life.
Yeah, just something. Just we pick a topic, like for instance, money or
marriage,
relationship, or heartbreaks, or all then we just get deep into it. 1 hour talking about nothing else. Then they let us know if
let us know in the comment section, please. If you're watching this, just let us know, because this is a new show and your feedback will be highly appreciated. Now let's go to the next story where it's a very interesting conversation that I believe that we should actually have it. The other day, Diana B actually posted a video with her daughter, anaitwa Malaika, if I'm not wrong. And
like a small girl.
Yeah.
She's like 2 years or 3 years? 2 years, right? She's like...
she's very small. So it looked like they were having an argument or over something. Then she goes ahead and tells the mom to stop shouting at her. And yet it looks like she's the one shouting. I don't know, just watch the video and tell us what you think.
So, why are you shouting at me? Why are you shouting at me? You're shouting at me. Why? You're not shouting. You want to tell me I don't know what you're doing? Why are you shouting?
No, I saw them.
Ati? Can you say sorry?
Stop.
Malaika, say sorry. Malaika, you know what happens when
Yeah, so that is actually the video.
Yeah.
So when that video went really, really viral. It went extremely viral.
For sure.
It performed even way better. It's actually trending on YouTube. It's trending on TikTok. And people have come out to actually give out their opinion in terms of do they think the girl is too young to be talking like that to the parents?
So kind of people are questioning the parenting ability.
Yeah.
But is
not even the ability, I'd say, but of course, we've seen the others, our wengine, kina Morgan, they're very respectful, wamelelewa vizuri. It's just like,
they're just questioning the method and you should have brought up this one. People are feeling like
huyu ni kama wamekuwa lenient na yeye kidogo,
because in last one or something.
Oma because she's the favorite. I don't know. I wouldn't say that because I don't know. But do you think for a child that tiny, mdogo hivyo, mtoto mdogo,
very young, very young,
very little actually, not even young, yani ni mtoto mdogo sana. Do you think for her to talk like that it would mean something about parenting?
I believe so. And you know, when you're talking about parenting, we're talking about in general, in a bigger spectrum, because there's that perspective of parenting, the active parenting, where I usually, that active and passive parenting. There's that active where you're telling your kid, you need to do this, you need to do this, this is wrong, this is right, don't need to eat sugar, sugar will spoil your teeth, and so on and so forth. Then there's that is the one that many people shall concentrate on. I believe that's like many people, many of our parents, even when we were brought up, it was always do this, don't do this, this is wrong,
this is right,
and all that. And then there's the passive parenting, that is the kid just learning by seeing what mom and dad are doing.
Yes.
See, and normally looking back at how we were brought up, when you look at how children tend to grow up most of the time, children tend to be affected more by the passive parenting more than the active parenting.
Yes.
You can be shouting as loud as you want, don't eat sugar, but when you turn around and the kid sees you licking sugar,
yes,
there's no way they're not going to stop eating sugar. They'll always just wait for you to leave so that they can taste the sugar, because they're seeing you do. They should say that monkey see, monkey do. Yeah. So, and this is a scenario where you see a kid. There's this Swahili quote that says that samaki mkunje angali mbichi, which to some extent it makes sense. But there was this thing that also guys were also saying that lakini huyu mtoto ako too young even to know what's wrong and right. For both sides, there's a
thin line.
Yeah, there's a very thin line in there. In that, it's true, she's very young. In that, at that age, actually, who is under 3 years, ukimchapa inaoga ni waste of time. Ukimchapa umsaidi, because their brain have not grown to a level to associate pain with wrongdoing as a consequence for doing something wrong. Their mental IQ has not, like the neurons in their brain have not connected to that level.
Yes.
So, but at that age, they already know
what is wrong and right.
What is wrong and right. They know how to copy what people can do around. Like that's the age where a kid sees you talk back at your wife, they'll start talking back at you.
Okay.
Understand?
Yeah.
Because they see you doing it. They don't know whether they're supposed to do it.
Oh,
but the fact
they don't know if it's right or wrong.
You see, the only thing that can make them maybe be suspicious when they're doing it maybe is if occasionally you've always told them that they're not supposed to do it, or maybe you've caned them, or they've experienced some pain in the process. But at that age, mainly kids, they have no idea. You can't caning them. It's a waste of time. In fact, it's just an abuse. You understand?
Yes.
But now, coming to this kid, maybe they're doing that parenting because I see Diana doing that so much. The active parenting. They cane those kids, they do that. But maybe this kid, the other siblings, in a way, maybe they talk back at each other.
Okay.
You see, those are the older ones, because that happens all the time. The older siblings will get to a stage where teenage, you pretend that you don't like your sister, your sister, especially you you don't get along. And maybe she's seeing these things. She sees these things and she thinks it's okay. And because she's too young to know that, watoto wenzangu tunaweza waongelesha hivi, this is my parent, I can't do that. She doesn't know that. She doesn't know that that boundary that she is not supposed to pass. So she's not supposed to cross. So I just believe that it has nothing to do with mainly parenting ya wazazi ya kuonyesha what to do actively, but maybe the environment that she spends most of the time. Because we say that when children grow up, it's always two things that mainly usually affect how they grow up. That is the nature and the nurture. Nature is the genes, the genetics that they're made of, the things that they've inherited from their parents. Then the nurture is the environment, the people they interact with. Understand? If a child takes so much time spending time with children who grow in the ghetto, for instance, chance of them being thieves or robbers is very high, or prostitutes, because they spend so much time with people who do such things. Understand?
So would it be safe to say that she's just a baby?
She's just a baby, and she's just copying what maybe her fellow kids are doing to eat one another. But now she doesn't know that she can't do this to an adult. But she's going to get to an age where she's going to realize, I can do this to my fellows because we are kids, but I can't do this to mom. So I think people are just kind of blowing it out of proportion because people are not used to seeing such. But I don't think it's a bad thing, especially at that age. If it was at
10 years,
I could be worried now, because at that age she knows what she's doing.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. I think we share the same opinions. I think she's just being a baby. And what I normally tell people is, let a baby be a baby.
Let a baby be a baby.
Yes, just let a baby be a baby. And
they don't have a brain like you. Like sometimes they make mistakes, and you want to reason like an adult.
Yes.
Mbona na afanya hivi au nini wrong, but forgetting that she doesn't have a brain like yours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the next conversation. Tunaongelea story Wadaglis. We saw them performing Anguka Nayo. Wanaitwa Wadaglis.
Oh, that's the Wabile nimeangalia nikishangaa.
Wanaitwa Wadaglis. The guys who performed Anguka Nayo.
Okay.
So Anguka Nayo is a song that was released ideally during the Maandamano time. Sure. And it was not doing very well. It was not even performing well.
It wasn't.
But there's a meme that propelled this song. So what happened is that someone created a meme yenye ilikuwa inasema nimeangusha Ruto, sasa anasema nimeangusha finance bill, mnataka nitoe nini ingine? Sawa. And then Kenya's response, Anguka Nayo.
You go both of you.
And then kwa background wameweka hiyo Anguka Nayo. Anguka. So it was kind of hilarious. Na ili trend sana because it looked like it was speaking probably
to power.
To power. Ama to what Kenyans wanted that time.
Sure.
So that is basically the story ya Anguka Nayo.
And then it shoot. In fact, after that it became the biggest song in Kenya before this Set It. Right.
Yes,
it was like the biggest.
Yes, it was bigger. It was big before Set It. Now, that is the story. But now, what actually happened is that Wali performed hii ngoma and Ruto was vibing to this song. Do you think he knows?
I think he doesn't know. I think his handlers know.
For real?
Yeah, but I think as a person, maybe he's heard of the song, but I think he doesn't know how it connects to him. Really?
Or maybe
I think he knows, but I think he knows.
For real?
I think he knows. Because I think he knows.
Would it be?
What I think that he knows that this song was being sung during demonstrations, but he doesn't know how it came, like the meaning of that song. Like what the Anguka Nayo really meant.
What if he knows and he's just, ridiculing you guys?
That's a possibility. In fact, that's how majority of people are viewing it, by the way.
Yeah, like he knows, like mi najua mko nataka nianguke nayo, lakini naye ameanguka.
Nani ameanguka?
Naye ameanguka.
Nikashagu ameanguka.
Nani atakula? Yeah,
but I think
that's my opinion. I think he knows, and probably it's just like mlikuwa mnafikiria nitafanya Kenya hii ngoma inafanya
na mimi
lakini
I'm dancing on the grave of the guys who made up this. That makes sense.
But there's also a possibility that he's not in touch with the ground.
There's a possibility.
He doesn't even know.
In fact,
he didn't even know these guys were going to perform.
Sure.
He wasn't even part of the guys that were planning about the performance.
Sure.
But what I love about the people who are in charge of Easy V2's entertainment, Zaruto, they're actually very smart. Because during his campaigns, I think he chose X-Ray. Now that time X-Ray had Sipangwingwi.
Yes, and it was a big hit then.
Yeah. And that time, ilionyesha tu hustler venye Pangwingwi ya atashinda or no matter what happens.
Yes.
And this other time ya Anguka Nayo. So the people who are planning all these things, the president might not be, but them, I believe they're in charge.
Yeah, the likes of Itumbi.
The ground.
Yeah, sure, for sure. The likes of Itumbi wanafanya kazi mzuri. I think
what if wanamridicule ye president?
I highly doubt.
Watu wake
wanamogopa sana. The guys who are working for the president fear him so much. It will take a few people to. Of course, they will
take guts.
It will take guts to try to mess with that guy if you're working for him because, the guy is ruthless, bro. And those guys, the guys who work for him now, they don't like to cross him. They fear crossing him so badly. So maybe people wanafanya ridicule, but wanakuona zile za. You remember the way when we used to. Not even we used, even right now, sometimes you find that you make fun of your parent, your mom or dad. Kwa ile kitu tunajua hata elewa, something yenye imetokea. And huna ubaya na because she'll not get it. Haezi get.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But I think the guys who are now, the reaction that people ilipata, will get for these guys ni kitu yenye haikuwa necessary, especially guys calling them hao ni traitors and wanasema wanataka kuwa cancel. I don't think they deserve that because to be honest, even those guys who are trying to cancel these guys, wangekuwa musicians na waitwe waende perform Shujaa, wangekataa.
Hata mimi tu leo, acha nikwambie tu kweli. Nito niende kumuinterview. Mimi nitaenda.
Unapiga hiyo interview kwani what? Unamuinterview, in fact unamuuliza maswali zingine ngumu.
And I would say that performing kwa siku ya Mashujaa Day, you're not performing
for the president, you're performing for the nation.
Yes, that's how I do it.
It just happens that the president is the one who is the guest of honor. In fact, he's a guest during the event. He's a guest of honor for the event, but the event it's for the state. So trying to cancel them was like these guys tu ni vijana, they're just trying to
they're just trying to make
survive too. Sasa umeitwa, ulikuwa na expect aseme no, alafu maybe hata amefungiwa mlango, hajalipa rent, ameitwa 100k. Nataka kai wewe utamlipa hiyo 100k. These guys, in fact, they did not even call them to go and perform at.
But I'm really grateful that in Kenya the cancel culture is not that big.
It's not that big. People try to cancel you, but it doesn't work. You might be cancelled in different platforms. Like people on X will unfollow you.
We can decide that umse hawezi.
But your relevance will still be there.
Yes.
Unlike the way it happens in the West, where you become useless after you've been cancelled.
You just cancelled. No one buys your product. No one watches your videos.
Yes.
You know, like
if you have a show, nobody comes.
The likes of R. Kelly and stuff like that. So I don't think it's wise to actually say that they want to cancel these guys. I believe these guys were just brought there as entertainers. And I mean, if they were not brought, what conversation would be going on in Kenya?
Exactly.
Yeah,
for sure. Alafu watu walikuwa wanasema eti nyinyi ndio sisi ndio we made you guys. I saw guys arguing that way, that you are the ones who made you, which is true in a way, like that the movement made them because nobody knew of them before they anguka nayo. But at the end of the day, they did not ask you to make them. Hakukuja kwambia you guys make us.
Here's the thing. This is what I believe. I don't believe anyone makes anyone. This is what I believe. I believe for me to watch your content, for me to love your content, for me to vibe with your content is just good.
Sure.
In fact, you're the one who's helping me because you're giving me content, you're making my life happy, you're giving me a tune to jam in the club, you're giving me a reason to go to watch video on YouTube, You're entertaining me.
I'm the artist.
You're the artist.
Yeah. I'm the one of the art.
How many artists do we have that are producing thousands and thousands of songs, but they don't get views because they do not attract people the way other people attract?
For sure.
How many artists do we have here in Kenya that wanatoa ngoma tu, unaweza kaa chini usikize, uko like hii ngoma ni fiti, and it makes you every time go to search for this guy. You're not making him.
Sure.
He's just entertaining.
Yeah, for sure.
So this mentality in Kenya wanakuwaga nayo that we made so and so, we made so and so. There's nothing like that.
You don't make anybody.
When you don't make anybody, these people just give you the right content. It's like saying we made Lin Ngugi. Unasikia kama mtu anasema we made Ogaubina, we made Lin Ngugi, we made this person. How did you make him? This guy gave you content of value, content of good quality, na akakupatia kitu ya kufanya yenye uko nayo. You have an hour to go and watch something at the end of the day. You think you are supporting him, but in real sense, you are just happy consuming his content.
For free, maybe.
So when he does something that does not align with your beliefs, with your thinking, with your opinions, you just get mad and wish you didn't watch his content.
Because you feel on because you watch his content.
Yes.
But
in real sense, sometimes we produce content as creators, we produce content that costs us so much that money never comes back.
For sure.
In fact, we are investing so much just to keep you entertained, to keep you informed, to keep you on the loop. But for you to come and just watch and subscribe, you made me. I don't think. That's just my opinion.
It's true.
Many people just come and say, no, Ali, unaongea vibaya, we made you. I really don't believe people make people. I just believe that if you're doing good content, unobaya na mtu, you have quality content, you have the right content that attracts audiences, you make yourself.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like, they say that
hakuna watu walikuhurumia just because you are you, wakasema to subscribe you mse tumuochigi.
It's a clear definition of, they say that when preparation meets opportunity.
Yes.
So it's like there was this gap you just happen to be the person who was making the content needed that could fill that gap.
Yes.
Then you put it there. Then people are like, he made you. It's not that. Like, this is, like, for instance, now your story, Anguka na.
There
was just a gap.
It was just a gap.
Yeah, there was a music that was needed to fill that gap for the movement. And this guy were preparing in the studio, not even knowing that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Then it happened at the same time and it hit. And
no one actually sat down and said that, you know, ati sema tuangoma kwa tu supporting to combine kitu na hiki maandamano tuwajenge. No one.
It doesn't happen.
No
like
one.
That. It's
no
all
one.
It's
about good music. For example, the reason why BN has a song yenye kona 1 million views na ingine yenye kona 100k just shows you that there's nothing like support.
For sure.
It's just about the product you're giving us.
Yes.
Alitupea product poa, tukaipenda, kakula 1 million views.
Na ilikuja at the right time.
Ilikuja at the right time.
Yeah, sure.
Akatupea products ingine yenye hatukuipenda, tulisikiza once, we're like, no, I don't like this.
Yeah, for sure.
So if there was real support, we would see Wadagli sasa wangekuwa na ngoma ingine.
For sure.
Na ingekuwa imeenda
mbaya sana. Lakini
na si ngoma moja.
Juu sasa wangekuwa wanasema hao ndio wale vijana wetu
tuwasikize, tuwasupport, let's stream their song.
But that's
so
not
for Kenyans to actually believe that they own an artist, they owe someone. No one owes you anything.
You don't own anybody, and you don't owe anybody.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that is basically my thinking. So for any Kenyan who says they should be cancelled, I don't understand on what grounds.
They should get a life. Hao wenye wanasema hivyo should get a life. Tengeza art yako.
Tengeza art yako. Push your art, ndo juu hakunaga kitu
so hakuna freelance.
Hakunaga kusupportiwa. People say we supported you ukianza. Never supported. You just watch because
otherwise ngoma mbaya mbaya zilikuwa zina hit. Mbona kali ndo zina hit?
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
For sure.
So let's go to the next story where we'll be briefly talking about Andrew Kibe. Andrew Kibe actually said that the other day he's going to sue YouTube. Ni kwa sababu
anasue YouTube before kusue. Na expect aanze na wewe. But then mlimaliza before.
No, me and Kibe we are cool.
Okay.
I don't think we had an issue.
Ilikuwa tu content.
People really need to understand this that was just content.
For sure.
That was just entertainment. That was just a moment that both of us decided to live. I had nothing personal with him.
For sure.
Like anyone who shane on an eye online, we've never had anything personal.
Okay.
I just want to make that clear. Like I personally do not. Maybe wow kuna kitu personal na mimi. For example, I don't know if it's really right to say this.
Yeah. Unataka kusema yako na Obina ama?
Yeah, there's a time Obina wanted to push something like a song or something.
Okay.
Yeah. And Tumbili called me akaniambia, "Kuja ujaribu kusalimia Obina," then akatae.
What?
Yes.
So I saw that video.
Yeah, you saw that video. Ilikuwa pale Mr. Walk.
I remember.
So Ali kuja ujaribu kusalimia Obina, alafu akatae, itaenda, you know. I wanted that just shows you that I wanted to support them.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I just wanted to support their art.
Sure.
You know, Ali kuja nikakuja, nikasalimia kila mtu, Obina akakataa. It was all planned.
So does it mean that right now you and Obina can have a cup of coffee?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes for you would want things to be okay, and many people judge me for all that drama, not knowing the real things that happened behind the scenes.
For sure.
For example, the other video peer that I did that nimeenda kumu interview amekata, it was all drama, and people need to know content creation. Like, how would I know where Obina was?
Yeah, but without him letting you know.
You know.
So Obina is not somebody.
So what really made me not really understand quite well what was happening is the fact that when he was pale on Kiss, and Kamene, they were speaking, and then he was like, that guy who went and did this and this, and I'm like, we were just with this guy. If we're planning something with you, it's okay to plan.
Yeah.
But you don't go and twist it behind my back.
So they will feel like a kind of, it was a short change in a way.
A short change in a way. And sometimes I don't want to speak on those issues because it might look like najitetea or something.
hata mimi
But here's the thing. Alikiba and Diamond beef, it's curated.
For sure.
Diamond and Harmonize, it's curated.
For sure.
All these beefs, even the international beefs we know, they're curated.
Cristiano and Messi.
And they're curated.
For sure.
Let me also give you another example of these things that it's all publicity at the end of the day. Sijui Justin Bieber dating Selena Gomez, they knew it was going to be a thing. Timitida dating Kush Tracy, they knew it was going to be a thing.
Sure.
You know, this person dating this person, and this person breaking up. We see it all the time. So when people do not understand that such kind of stuff,
they make assumptions.
and they
like, start taking sides now. I hate this one.
But that is what I love about it.
Yeah.
That is what I love. I also love about the fact that now people will start taking sides. You'll start getting fans. You'll start gaining popularity.
Wow.
And people do not understand the game. So once you are clear about knowing the game, it would be easy for you for me to tell you, jifanye nimekuunfollow, jifanye tumefanya hivi, jifanye, and we see it every time. So when people understand the game, it is bad for the industry.
Because now they'll not understand it. I mean, they'll not enjoy it.
They'll not enjoy
it's like
it.
It's like watching behind the scenes of a movie before you watch the movie.
Yes,
it makes the movie
the same with
so
politics. Boring. We see Ruto ametukana sijui nani, Raila ametukana tu, and then we see them having a cup of coffee.
Sure,
together.
then you're like, these guys are taught to hate each other to death.
That's the thing. Sure. Yeah. So where was I before I got ahead of myself?
We are talking about. We went to Obina, but the issue was.
Tumekimbia sana. Tulikuwa tunaongelea story and Kibe, when you asked
yes,
me kama niko na
then he was he told me he's suing YouTube or something.
Yeah, he's suing
so
YouTube.
I was asking about why is he suing YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. So he said like you and Obina, in short, you guys can have a cup of coffee. Una normal. But you felt shortchanged after now he started making.
I can have a cup of coffee with him, but would he have a cup of coffee with me?
So you think that there's a way? I'm asking you. You should know that.
No, I know.
Do you think he will?
You know,
because maybe you know why I'm asking you that.
Last time nilikuwa na Obina, by the way, ilikuwa
during Trevor's interview.
Sikuona tukiwa na issue. It was just casual, tulisalimiana and everything.
But it was very casual.
It is just that when there's something, you just know there's something.
Oh, for sure.
That is
the energy between you guys. Just feel it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think maybe there's a time he requested me to pull down video yake yenye nilifanya, which I didn't, because sometimes we also look at vitu kwa ground. Ingekuwa ni mimi namwambia pull down, would he pull it down? You know.
And how about you? Could you pull it down?
No, I cannot, because you see these things, they take us money, they take us time to produce. Unless someone is willing to actually pay for the cost that it took for me, and also a projection of how much money this video is going to make, I'd be willing to pull down.
Because at the end of the day, apart from anything else, this is a career. It's a job.
It's a career. It's my career. Yeah. I also remember there's a time he had an issue with pulling down, I think, Sammy Boy's video, or someone had asked him to pull down the video, and even did a video to address. You know, it takes money, it takes time, it takes effort to pull.
So it's something that he also understands.
Yeah, it's something that he would want me to pull it down, but he has to understand, because hata yeye angekuwa kwa shoes zangu
ange pull down. Hata mimi singe pull down.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Okay. So about
Andrew Kibe, now on his side, he decided to sue YouTube because
he's already in the process. Already is when he's
looking for a lawyer.
Okay. I thought he had one already with the type of content he was making. He needed to have one in hand.
He says that he believes that YouTube unfairly terminated his YouTube channel, and he wants to sue them. But do you think it's possible? Do you think he can win the case against YouTube?
No, I highly doubt. In fact, I don't even highly doubt. It's at all order. It's impossible to do that.
Yes.
In his case, that is.
Yeah.
Those YouTube channels that we usually get reinstated, sometimes are being pulled down. But it's always when this usually happens when you did not infringe any of the terms and conditions. So, because there's a reason why they usually ask you, as you open your account, there's a reason why they usually ask you, they give you terms and conditions, and they ask you to agree to them. And anytime it's like signing to a contract that you haven't read, or assuming, anytime you sign a contract, it's assumed that you had read it.
Yes.
So, ignorant will never be a difference in that you can never come back later complaining that this part of these conditions that are not favoring to me. So we need to retalk about it and rediscuss this, because if you look at the reasons that made Andrew Kibe's channel to go down, there are things that YouTube doesn't support, especially when things to do with defamation. You get a time when you get into people's lives and you even talk down on people's personal lives to a level where una defame, mean that you're giving false information about them. You understand? And you claim, and you're making it. There's a way in which unaweza sema kitu about mse, and the court will understand. Even if you go to court, they'll understand this was a rumor you were just talking about it. You understand? But there's a way you can make a claim. Like right now, nikisema that unajua Chira alikufa na niwe ulimuua, and I make it like I'm so sure about it. Guys, I know the person who killed Chira is President Ali, and I have the evidence. You understand? In such a case, YouTube doesn't support. If I put such a video on there, and you can prove and you report me, and it can be proven that I made such a mistake, YouTube have the all right, because it is their platform. It's not like you have whatever.
So here's the thing. This is what I think, and this is what I believe happened to Andrew Kibe's channel.
Yes.
So Andrew Kibe was doing his content, and he was clearly saying that his content is actually comedy. It's pure comedy.
For sure.
He never violated terms policies in terms of sexual misconduct, upload vitumbaya. The only thing that I can tell you for a fact, I believe, was Kibe's downfall was he rubbed the wrong shoulders with way too many people.
For sure.
So this is what happens. When Andrew Kibe will come and talk ill about me, my fans will be mad at him. They'll report the video or they report the channel. Then YouTube will come and try to check, like probably what happened here.
Yeah. And this guy is just being emotional for nothing.
And then they leave it.
Okay.
Then at first, they don't check it manually. It is AI that checks it.
Okay.
Like, it just goes through it. They
check out people's reactions and all that, the likes, the dislikes, the comments.
Something of that sort.
Sure.
Then they'll come, he'll do another video about you. Your fans will do the same thing. Report the account, report the video. So it reaches a time.
The reports have accumulated. There are too many.
Reports are just too many.
That they can't ignore anymore.
They can't ignore anymore. And they're like, probably AI is making a mistake because, AI is made by humans. So they're just like, there just has to be something wrong with this account. You cannot be having 400,000 subscribers and you're having 200,000 Kenyans reporting this account.
Sure.
There's just something wrong with this account. And let me tell you, here's the problem. YouTube fears so much being sued.
Okay.
You understand? So they'd rather pull down your channel to avoid being sued, because they'd actually imagine 200,000 people are reporting this channel in a span of two months. What if we're not getting something right?
What if they sue?
What if someone just decides to sue us and they have this evidence about this channel that is violating policies and we cannot see it? So whenever you're creating content, there's actually a thin line between deciding to just go so big, make money, and have a few friends.
Just being, for sure.
Just
be modest a bit.
Jaribu kukuwa modest. And also maybe that is the first opinion.
Okay.
Maybe something else that could have happened on Kibe's channel is the fact that, yes, it was a comedy show. Yes, alikuwa ana-entertain watu, but he was vulgar.
Very vulgar.
So once the videos were being reported, maybe human beings now got to sit down, listen and watch these things, and they would hear matusi zinakuwa thrown hapa na pale, and they're like, no, you've violated too many policies, let's delete your channel. I believe that is what happened.
And maybe he was getting away with it for sometimes because maybe he was using Swahili and
Yes.
the AI can't speak Swahili.
Yeah.
But the moment people are reporting now, by then they start questioning, okay, this word means what?
Yeah, unaenda unatafuta tu, huwezi kosa mtu wako kwa YouTube pale anajua Kiswahili.
Yeah.
Mtu ameketi tu hivi chini anasikiza. Kenyan branch. Anaisikiza hapo anasema, "Hey, huyu jamaa amesema tukanana. Mzee mnamuona hapa."
This guy said Njoti, you know what Njoti is? Yeah, he doesn't know Njoti.
Yes.
Nice.
So that is what actually I believe happened.
Wow.
But for him to say that he's going to sue YouTube, I believe
it's a very big battle though.
It's actually the biggest battle he'll ever have.
Because that's like one of the biggest companies in the world, man.
Yeah.
And where is he going to sue them at? In US?
The problem is, yeah.
Okay.
It's actually in, I think, UK, Ireland.
Okay. So the man
huko.
Ameshamaliza pesa ya lawyer. Najalipa lawyer basi. Amesema anataka free lawyer.
Amesema anataka free.
Ama anatafuta lawyer aje? Because
amesema I need a lawyer with mwenye akona balls za kujaribu kusue YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing. If he wins the case, might make a lot of money.
Crazy.
Might make a lot of money. He might make a lot of money, which I highly doubt.
They usually say sometimes that you pick your battles carefully, and when you pick the size of the winner or the loser you become depends on the size of the opponent you choose. So the bigger the opponent you choose, if you win, you look like a mafia.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least like you win, he won't have to ask Kenyans wamchangie story ya kuzunguka 47 counties.
Atakuwa na dea kwenda. Wow. But that's an interesting story to see.
I really appreciate and acknowledge and just see whatever Kibe is doing. I think his videos are now coming back on the FYP. Okay. So he's trying really hard.
He's trying. Then I like the fact that he also is this guy is we can talk about him in all negative ways, but there's one thing that he's not. This guy is not. He's a real fighter. He's not someone who doesn't give up. The guy tried that his site was called Yafrika or something.
Yafrika.
Yenye hata ili fail terribly, but akajaribu those stand up comedies yenye pia ilikuwa such a flop. But the guy just
lakini unafanya stand up unaita shiti na Nick Big Fish.
Those guys
now to see stand up.
They're not funny. They're not funny in that way.
Hao ni pranksters, shiti ni actor.
They're like hao ni kama Joe Hart, my opinion. Joe Hart, I usually find him not funny in stand up, but in his movies it's just
yeah. So he's a hard worker.
He is for sure and a fighter.
You cannot take that away from him. He's a man who stands with whatever he believes in. That is probably why he's not on radio. That is why probably he's not on the mainstream. He's just somewhere online doing his thing in his space. Mtu amekuwa able kugana, I think, over 500,000 followers in like a year. So that is crazy.
That's crazy.
Like, trust me. Like,
yeah, sure. That's crazy. Yeah.
Let's go to the next story. Naona muda tu unatupiga kisogo na jamaa wako alishikwa. Musiria. So Musiria has been this guy mwenye amekuwa akienda kwa makanisa, kwa clubs akisema bana hii kelele ni noma.
He's the what? Hiyo position yake inaitwa aje? Is the environmental what?
Chief environmental something.
Officer something.
Officer Wakanjo. Akienda mahali anapata mnapika na kuna uchafu.
Yeah.
Kuna fungwa, kuna jamaa alishikwa pia akikojoa. Wewe unakojoa wapi wewe hapo? So ni jamaa amekuwa akifanya kazi nzuri.
Yes.
Sasa mimi sijui alifanya nini jana, lakini alishikwa hapo Uhuru Park pia.
Na makarao. Yeye pia alikuwa ameenda concert ya nini?
Alibambwa.
Alikuwa ameenda concert.
Alikuwa ameenda huko kukumbuka mashujaa.
Bana. Huyu akaenda kufanya kitu kama hiyo.
Na sasa alikuwa anafanya nini?
Sakaja anaweza muacha aende kitu kama hiyo kweli. Because Sakaja is not mtu wa Gen Z.
But Sakaja alisema Uhuru Park is a public area, you don't need to ask for permission. Bora mmeingia mmoja msiingie kama group mko tu.
But that's what he says, but deep down Sakaja is not has never been for the
Gen Zs.
He's always for Ruto, always. He's always been for that.
So why do you think he was arrested?
Maybe tu kuna makarawa kuna beef na. This guy has rubbed shoulder with so very many people.
At the police.
Yeah. Okay, why I think police, not police like as a force, but maybe one of these utapata tu maybe there's one church ashaifunga. Yeah, there's even this time aliendaga kafunga party ya nani? Ya Saniloa or president. Huko Kilimani. Yeah, in fact, got hadi nani alijam na nini? Who are you gonna do here? That Nigerian guy, the Saniloa is a Nigerian guy. Yeah. And lakini the guy akona balls, hakutambua, alijaribu ku stand his grounds na alifunga, ili make sure like the whatever ili stopishwa the event. Na sasa jana alienda ku raid a certain club yenye kwa residential huko Kilimani. Na hii ni club ya wa Somali peke yake. Hivyo kuwa anacheza Kisomali, ngoma za Kisomali. Then hakupata good reception.
Yes.
Most of the time by there apataki good reception. Apataka places zingine
hostile sana.
Very hostile. But uzuri yake pia atambuagi like whoever you are, I'm doing my work, hata kama wewe ni child son to the president, I don't care. So alienda pale na wale Maoria walianza kuchachisha sana. Kwanza walianza kukataa kusema eti why are you recording us? You're not supposed to record us. You see, and it was like I have to record you because for evidence, so that msiseme baadaye niliwa harass. Because if you know, like even in the US, the policemen usually have the body cams on all the time, just to make sure they're not doing anything wrong, and also the person that trying to arrest is also not doing anything wrong. And if they do anything wrong, it can be confirmed later. So wale Maoria walileta noma sana until I think hata alishinda, aliwaambia hadi wazime ngoma wakakataa. You see, so but later on ilikuja the club had to be closed down. So this guy mbona mimi nilikuwa nataka discuss is the fact that sometimes I usually think that it's good to, we have a very bad leadership, we have a system that is not working, but it's okay, but it's okay sometimes to appreciate people who are at least doing something. Because to be honest, before this guy happened Mosiria, mimi sikuijua hadi kuna post kama hiyo kwa Kanjo, sikuijua the
bad.
I didn't know that there is even somebody who does that work. Mwenye kazi yake ni to make sure like the environment is clean and there's no noise. But this guy is working really, really hard, and like people were saying that anataka kuwa governor one day, which is deserved. Other people wamekuwa governors na hakuna kitu maana wamefanya before. So yeye ni kama like another Omondi, and I just wanted us to appreciate him because of the work amafanya. Ama do you think that ana cloud chase? Because the people who have been arguing that mbona atembe na camera around, mbona atuonyeshe? See,
I mean, kama angetuonyesha hata tungejua hiyo post iko. Kama angetuonyesha, we wouldn't know that there are people who actually really suffer when it comes to, you know, noise pollution. Kuna churches zina create a lot of noise, mess usiku, watu hawalali kwa estates, clubs same, ziko kwa residential areas, and I also think he's doing a good job. It's only at this particular point of time that you can't use the mainstream, so you're using your own means to make people aware of what is happening.
Which is quite unfortunate.
Now, the problem is, that's where I'm heading. The problem is people tend to look at you as a content creator than someone who is working. Same with Morara. People are like, yes, Vampire Diaries is quite a cause, but the fact that you're doing it doesn't make you a leader.
It's just content,
Yeah, you're just doing content. Unatuonyesha tu makosa walifanya. So the fact that walifanya makosa doesn't mean that we should trust you utafanya makosa. The fact that unatuonyesha places zenye zinafanya noise pollution, haituambii kama ukipata pesa utafungua tu club kwa residential area na juu wewe
ama utaanza kukula na hao wenye clubs,
you know, something of that sort. So I do applaud like hao wote wenye wanafanya hizi vitu zote, kina Morara, kina Omondi. The problem is just that if they are cunning politicians, we wouldn't know until
they get the positions.
That's the point. So maybe they are just doing this. Let me tell you, politicians wa kitambo walikuwa wanatumia nini? Mainstream media. Kuuza sera. Tutatenga. Sawa. Now, modern politicians
are
using social media. So the game is just the same.
For sure.
Trust me, guys. Mark my words. The game is just the same.
The monkeys are the same. It's just the forest that has changed.
Yes. The game is just the same. Monkeys is the same. Msitu ndo imebadilika. So someone will just go ahead, aseme probably these people are doing this, these people are doing this, these people are doing this, until you select them, and they'll do it. And this time round, they'll know the perfect way to hide it.
Sure.
I'm just telling people this. Do not buy what you're seeing on the screen. The fact that someone is doing this, what is his motive? Motive yake ni to make sure there's no noise pollution in Kenya. Yes. Let it remain there. Let that be his motive. Motive yake ni ku make sure ana expose hawa wase wenye wanatumia mali ya serikali vibaya. Let it remain there, because once it gets beyond that,
starts being personal,
it just becomes another political game being played by a different politician in a different field. That is what I believe.
They're just coming with that Hitler move. Zile za you come as a savior.
Yes.
Then everybody trusts you.
Of course.
Then you start dealing with them.
And it's just the same thing that other politicians have been doing.
Yeah.
Like, huyu mtu alisema atajenga barabara, alisema atajenga hospitali, alisema watoto wetu watasoma nini, but he's not done it. And then you are like, enyewe, umseni mbaya. Then you elect this one. And he does the same thing that this one did. And then comes another savior and he says, they said they do this and this and they didn't do it. And it goes on and history repeats itself. And in a span of 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you realize that the country is actually going down instead of going up, because the politicians are just smarter
disguising their motives.
Yeah, than the normal mwananchi.
That's a good take. That's a good way to look at it, by the way. And I think, of course, that will make somebody be confused, especially if you're a voter.
Yes.
Okay, now how do I know who to vote for?
Yes.
And I think the best thing, that's not something you need to worry about, because personally, I usually don't like worrying about things that have no power over changing. For instance, if you're somebody who's working right now, like Geoffrey Mosiria, you're doing something that many people are seeing as commendable, then at the back of my mind, I'm worried that maybe you could be like one of them that is just waiting to get a chance to reveal his true character. I tend not to really worry so much about that because of one thing. Authenticity is usually so very difficult to fake for long. Such people just need to give them time.
Yes.
They just come out.
Kasmuel si
Ashaji reveal.
Kwanza take 1 year.
Yeah, take 1 year. So such people, sometimes I think when you go to the ballot to vote, of course you go for that guy, because you say that the best way of predicting a future is by looking at the past behavior. Like the only way to kujua utaniibia ni by ka ushainibia before. So when it becomes now confusing where the person when you unaenda ku vote for maybe is this Mosiria guy who has been doing everything right, na maybe enda kuturn kuwa wrong. But if you give people enough time, people tend to reveal themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just give these people enough
just
time.
Give them time. You are
Omondi time. Patia Mosiria, patia Morara time. Just give these people time. You will come to realize like, oh, he was just a content creator.
For sure.
That is why he's doing this. That is why he's doing all these shenanigans. So at the end of the day, this is how I believe you should look at the right person to vote for you. What has he done that does not benefit him? What has he done that does not make him look like a
hero, kind of.
A hero. What has he done that is not on camera? What has he done? Like, if you sit down and talk to Morara or talk to his close associates, what do they say genuinely about him? Oh, Morara has actually built a school with ile pesa mmekuwa mkimchangia, amejenga shule. Oh, Eric Omondi amesaidia watu nini? Achana na wenye mmeona kwa kamera, analipiaga watoto sijui wangapi school fees. You know, those things zenye they make him a human.
The private conversations even have with the real people.
The conversations behind the curtain are the real things that you should consider before casting that.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. That's true. That's true, because I can imagine a scenario where even if you are starting, let's say, if you wanted to start a show where your main motive was to con people, I'm sure you'd tell me that, bro, this show, though it's looking like we want to help them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah, sure. But if you are like, for real, you want to help people, I will be the first one to say, are you guys, man? Ali ichenye anafanya. For real, this thing means something for him.
Thank you. For real. It's like when before people voted for Kibaki, there was just so much good about Kibaki that was just out there that you could just not
you could not ignore it.
Yes,
for sure.
There was just so good, maze. Say yani, when he was this minister, he did this. When he was he did this. You know, there's always that track record. Kenye kako off camera. Kenye, you just did it for the sake of other people other than yourself.
Okay.
That is what I think.
Yeah, that's a perfect
And
choice.
for now, this is my opinion.
Oh. If
we were to vote today, mimi sijui ningepigia nani because hadi sasa hii
mchanganyikiwa
mimi
vibaya.
sijaona mtu naweza trust.
I think as we were just saying, give them time. By 2027 we'll have seen the motives of
3 years is a lot of time.
It's a lot of time.
Tutakuwa tushajua mbivu na mbichi.
You remember that day I was telling you about Kasmuel disappearing and he's going to a place we're not going to talk about him anymore. He's going to, in fact I don't think Kasmuel ikifika December tutakuwa tunamkumbuka. He'll be gone because these characters just revealed him. Even this guy called Kebaso Morara. By March chances are tunamuongelea tena akiendelea na hizo vitu anafanya.
Yeah. Amekuwa pia yeye content creator sana. So
time
he thinks about something, he just does another video for
so time is the medicine, it heals everything.
Yes. Last story, we're talking about withdrawal of security. Gachagua.
Rigiji baby.
Ati Rigiji baby. Yeah, Rigiji
tunacheka kwa matanga lakini.
Yeah. Rigiji alinyang'anywa security.
Man akiwa hosi. Yeah.
It is sad.
He got into the hospital akiwa na security. Alifunguliwa mlango akiingia kwa hosi. Kutoka alijifunguliwa na wife.
Walai.
For real.
Anaitwa Dorcas. Pastor. She's a pastor.
Wow.
It is,
and she wept like Jesus.
It is really sad by the way.
I know we're making fun of it, but it's a very sad scenario.
It's sad.
It's not something that
it's just sad. Not because he was a good guy when he was in power.
It has nothing to do with him.
It's just sad because it looks like it's betrayal.
Yes, and it's happening. It could be happening to anybody. We could have seen it the same.
Yes.
It is sad. And it just shows you how petty our politicians can turn to be. Because to be honest, I've seen most of political analysts calling this political lynching. Like these guys just decided to kuchoma Gachagua politically because it's like this guy.
He's not a normal mwananchi forever.
He's just a normal mwananchi forever. And it's
unless he just decides to leave Kenya.
Yeah, and Uganda maybe.
Yeah. And the US enjoy to maisha.
Yeah, maybe. Because to start with, somebody who is looking at this script is like, uni msemenye alikuwa hataki kwa politics. Then Ruto brought him to politics. Then his life in politics lasted for about 7 years. Then he was done. He can never vie. It's like nalimleta tu kummaliza. It's a sad scenario.
Some people are also looking at it ni kama he was used by Ruto to climb that political ladder, and then anaona sasa sina haja na yeye, because people normally say that ikiti ingepewa Kindiki.
It was supposed to. Yeah.
Kitambo.
Vile Kindiki hakuwa na numbers.
Yeah. Pia watu walisema hakuwa na pesa.
Hakuwa pia na dogo.
Na pesa ya kutosha
Gachagua was a billionaire already at that time.
Gachagua alimpiga Ruto bilioni 2.
Safi ya campaigns, yeah.
Na inasemekana Kindiki alikuwa anatoa 200 million. So hata wewe ungekuwa
naangalia 1%, 10% bro. Hii hata ni 1%.
Yeah. So do you think Ruto kuileta Kindiki ni Wameru?
Yeah, ni Wameru.
So ni wa Mlima pia.
Ni wa Mlima.
Do you think Kindiki akona favor ya Mlima?
Hapana, ana. Huyu ana favor ya Mlima. Hata ya Meru ni
hata Meru
akona kidogo.
Why do you think Ruto picked Kindiki?
Because he has no influence. There's this Machiavellian, for people who have done political science like us, we're proud kidogo. There's this thing we actually taught, in fact, in first year, about Machiavellian type of leadership. That one of the rules that most of these guys who are dictators usually use is that the first thing they use when they climb to power, for them to consolidate their power and stay in power permanently, is they make sure that the first people they destroy are the people who brought them to power. You get? Because according to history of politics, always most of the time, the person who takes you to power is the person who removes you.
Okay, he has that power because
they usually become the nearest or the closest next opponent.
Okay.
So the best way you can survive, the best way you are going to survive there is by destroying them. Because this is what happens when I put you somewhere in position, or I help you get to that position. There's a possibility. There's that primal mind that will make me believe that if I can put you there, then I can put myself there too. See, and the best way of taming that is just destroying me first.
True.
Yeah. So
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I've just been following Ruto's politics, and I think he follows that type of politics very to the latter, including telling people lies to convince them, talking to them, putting people in groups and classifying them as hustlers and the haves and the have-nots, the poor and the rich.
Divide and rule.
Divide and rule. That is a perfect Machiavellian type of ruling, and it's just something that this guy picked. It's the same thing that Adolf Hitler was using. Like, you make sure that the people who are around you and the people you can destroy, the people who can build you make sure you destroy them as soon as possible, because if they can make you, they have the power to destroy you. But that on the side, it's a very coming to now human emotions and the human interaction, because that is what is touched. Because Ruto somewhere penye yako saya anaweza fikiria maybe Kenyans are feeling so bad for Gachagua because they hate him as Ruto. But it's not that. People are just, there's just that part of us as human beings. We're always good. There's part of us that is usually good. Yes. There's part of us, there's just that thing you don't want to see happening to anybody. That's why when you see that when an accident happens, everybody who can have an accident scene, you should notice that everybody sees the accident scene and they turn around and they usually kind of they're traumatized and they're kind of in a mourning mood. Yes. They're mourning somebody they don't know. Yes. Because as human, we usually have that conscience and interpersonal interaction, connection between us. Yes. that just that evil you don't want to see happening to anybody. Even there's a reason why. Yeah, there's a reason why we say that I can't wish this to my worst enemy. Yes. Because that I can hate you as much as possible. That there's that part of me that can't feel good when I see something bad happening to you. Yeah. So I think this is the part that Ruto had touched. It's a part that people are feeling that part. Zile za mazee. Unaweza mfanyia mtu hivi yaki, especially now it even became worse the moment Gachagua alikuwa ametoka pale kwa hosi. Alafu ana beg Ruto, please don't kill me, just allow me to live, you can do anything with the country. This is somebody who was kind of telling you that, man, I'm ready to lose anything but not to my life, because they say that that's the wish of every man in a deathbed. They usually are ready to lose anything as long as they gain their life. Yes. And you go to that moment, and I remember when he said that thing touched the wife badly. In fact, that's the moment that the wife started crying. Yes. And I was like, wow, Gachagua, if you planned this, you have no idea how much this is working, because everybody who watched that, you'll only be a devil not to be touched by that. Yes. People were touched and he won many people's hearts. Yes. Right now, there are people who love him that did not love him before that.
Let's go back to what happened when Raila and Kalonzo, was it a while back, walinyang'anywa pia security?
Ilikuwa time ya maandamano 2023, it was Raila and Kalonzo.
Yes. Yeah. What did Gachagua say?
He said that because
wamenyang'anywa kwa sababu
hakuna polisi wengine wangeongeza kwa streets na wamerealize wenye wanaleta shida, wenye wanaleta hizo mayhem
ni hao watu wa maandamano.
Sasa tuwanyang'anye mpaka wakuwe kwa line. Alafu tukiona mmerudi kwa line, tunaweza wapatia kitu kama 3 months hivi. Yeah. Alafu tuwarudishie. So, but then pia at the end of the day Gachagua pia kumtetea ni ngumu. Amesema vitu zingine mazenye hata ukiangalia anasema yeye pia kuende tu.
But you mentioned kuhusu story ya nani? Ya Gachagua kusema, don't hurt my family, don't hurt me, do whatever you want with the country. And I remember when Uhuru pia after amekuja kukosana na Ruto, I think those were also his sentiments.
Yes, same things.
He said like, leave my family out of this,
leave my children
out of this, leave my mother out of this, eri unikujie mimi, but please just let us live in peace.
Gachagua na amesema hata mimi usinikujie. But in a way he's following the same script. Since day one Gachagua has been following the same script, because as I told you, in a way Ruto is the one who can say that he's the sole political mentor to Gachagua. Yes. So in a way that he follows the same script. I was even seeing him going to rig the elections if he was going to vie in 2022. He was just going to do Gachagua, yeah, he was just going to do exact things that Ruto did.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
Angechukua hiyo kitu.
Hakuna vile angechukua. There's a reason why
Ruto decided to also destroy him.
Yes. Completely. He knows how ruthless. In fact, there's a time during campaigns when guys were saying,
that is very interesting.
Yeah, there's a time when Raila was saying that Ruto just decided to choose another him. Like he was looking for a running mate. Then he looked around for a person who was like him. Then he saw Gachagua. It was like, he's as ruthless as him. He's as vicious as him. And he doesn't leave anything to chance. Anything that comes on his way.
So he knows that there's a possibility. Ujamaa alikuwa anaenda kumnyorosha vibaya.
Mbaya sana, he knows that. I believe he knows that. Because there's this rumor that is going around that when they were in Kisumu, in the hotel where Gachagua was sleeping at, there's an MP from Rift Valley who is a very close ally of Gachagua who came to have a conversation with him. And their conversation was something that was really touchy to the presidency in a way that he was talking about something to do with taking over and making sure that he destroys Ruto completely. And after that, it was found that the NIS security who came to check the room before that had planted some recordings. You see, tape recorders. And the whole conversation linked, and Ruto got the conversation. And that's where Ruto got so mad. They say that even this day that the church leaders and the religious leaders, the imams and the pastors went to try to reconcile them. But Ruto came with the tape and told them that this guy said some things in this tape. That he did not play the tape though, but he came with the tape telling them that the things that this guy said cannot allow me to forgive him.
Wow. We're going to end the show on that note. We really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did watch it, paka mwisho, as always, I'm always asking you guys to just comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't. You're on the road to 500,000. This has been On Air with Presenter Ali. My name is Presenter Ali, alongside
Just for Bravo, aka Just Beast.
See you guys in the next video.